Hi, welcome to Fitness V Series, and I'm your six-pack coach. Now, last weekend, I had the privilege of judging at a bodybuilding competition. Now, it's been a dream of mine ever since I started competing as a bodybuilder to one day be able to judge a competition. I just thought it would happen in my 60s, but like we know, manifestation comes early. So I went to this competition, and as a consummate professional, I wanted to be prepared. So I went online and I looked for videos and I looked for articles. I couldn't find anything. I could find judging criteria, I could find the judge's manual, but I already had that. But I couldn't find anyone who was talking about the judging experience. So when I came back and I was journaling, I decided to then talk about my experience judging. So I did the judges training, but I need to emphasize it will never prepare you for competition day. It's just like a competitor. You work out, you eat right, you do your poses, but it is always different from the experience itself. So I've got 5 pointers for anyone who might one day be judging their first competition, and I hope this will be helpful to them. I'll just get my notebook. So the first pointer is this: do not be distracted. Now, I have never been to a bodybuilding show and sat right at the front of the stage. That's always for the judges. And so here I was, right at the front. Now, the problem with being at the front is you see everything. And I mean everything. You see too much. And it's very distracting. So the first category we had coming in was the junior men's bodybuilding. And like I said, you see everything, and remember, you are just below the stage and they are up there. So everything is in full view. You can also see the DJ, you see what the MC is doing, you see what the people at the prizes table are doing. So be very careful. It's exciting and it's very novel. So it's very easy for you to get distracted, but be focused. Put blinders on. This is what actually slowed me down in my first category, because all of this was happening, and at the same time uh, the competitors were coming in, and for the first time in years, I think this is the biggest novice they've ever had. They just kept coming, like the competitors couldn't fit on stage, and it was very overwhelming. And then there's all the other sensory experiences happening. So as soon as you take your seat at the judges table, make sure that you have your blinders on, and you are focused on your competitors, on the stage, and on your sheet. And number two, as soon as the competitors start coming in, start judging. Now, when you go for judges training, they will tell you to be fast because the statistician is going to be coming and they want their papers. And everything happens all at once. So competitors come up, and as you are taking down notes, they're doing their quarter tens or doing their poses. So you need to be very fast. So the best advice I got from my chief judge was, as soon as you see the first competitor coming up, make sure you start judging. Number three is linked to that. Notes. Take notes. Make use of your paper. So they're going to give you sheets, result sheets, and some script sheets. Make sure you make use of your script sheets. Your memory is not going to help you. Like I said in point number two, it happens fast. Now, as a competitor, I thought the whole competition happened fast. Like you were on stage, you did your individual routine, and you were off. It is faster when you are judging. And remember, as a judge, you don't only have one category. You're probably doing all the categories. I had to judge all the categories. I kept thinking that the chief judge was going to get up and tell me, "You're doing a bad job. Get off the panel." But he never did. And like I said, it moves fast. I think the first three categories probably took 2.5 hours, and I didn't even notice how fast time had passed until the break. So take notes because you can't count on your memory. The competitors are coming in fast, they are doing their quarter tens fast. So you need to be noting. You cannot trust that you'll remember what his bicep looked like when he's now in his back pose. So make sure you're taking notes. use that paper up. Number 4, do not hold back on comparisons. So this was my first competition, and with the first category I wasn't sure whether I should ask for comparisons, and I was thinking, is any other judge asking for comparisons? But then by the time I got to the third category, I realized that it is essential. Calling out for a comparison can actually change the results drastically. And I also realized something: when you call for more comparisons, it gives you more time to look at all the competitors. And the other thing you need to realize is you might not be at the center of the stage. So I was more to the left, and being a very small and petite person, it was kind of hard for me to see the competitors on the right. So that makes it essential that I call for comparisons. If you do not see a competitor clearly and they've been moved to the back, make sure you ask for them to be moved forward. And continually ask for comparisons if you can. There is no shame in it. Remember, someone's bodybuilding title or their future or their bodybuilding acumen now rests in your hands. Make sure that the right athlete gets what they deserve. And number 5, you need to have an answer for every athlete who's going to ask you what they did wrong or what they can improve on. The thing is, there was so much happening that I didn't really think that the competitors were noticing us until afterwards, and then they start coming up to you and asking you. And here's the worst part: because they're now dressed and they're wearing caps and all sorts of things, can't even remember them, can't even remember what category it was. And guys, there were so many competitors, it was unbelievable. So you need to always have an answer on hand to give a competitor, because you don't want to shoot them down, you want to consistently encourage them. So when they come up to you, my answer is, and they're like, what can I improve on? I'm like, it's very hard to tell in one day, but I'll just encourage you to keep coming to competitions. And that's what I say. But everyone will have their own answer. I think eventually, if I do judge again and it's the same competitor, they will probably know that's my go-to answer. And number 5, I feel, is like karma. When it happened to me, I thought, oh, this is karma, because I used to be that competitor. I used to judge judges harshly for not wanting to tell you what you did wrong. But the truth is, there is so many competitors on stage and such limited time. The other thing I told one competitor is, go back to the gym and ask other people what you can improve on, because they spend more time with you in the gym. So give them a fair answer, but give them an answer that will encourage them and not shoot them down. So those are my 5 pointers. If there's anyone else who's done a competition or judged a competition for the first time, I would like to know about your experience. Hopefully I'll be doing my video journal on the other competitions that I judge, if I'm allowed to judge again. I'm still not sure how. I've got an idea of how well I did, but I'm not sure if it was impressive for my chief judge. And besides, keep judging. You get free t-shirts like this from our sponsors. Now, judges do have uniforms, but if it's a sponsored show like the one that we had, then you'll probably get regalia from your sponsor. I hope to give you more information on bodybuilding competitions and on the judging process, especially because there doesn't seem to be any information there. I hope you guys have a very good week, and remember, your body is your business card.